You bought chicken last week, you probably bought it this week too. Most American families cook chicken 3, 4, maybe 5 times a week. It is the protein everyone trusts. Lean, versatile, safe. You grab it off the shelf, you bring it home, you feed it to your kids, and you never once think twice about it. Because why would you? The label says all natural. The label says no antibiotics ever. The label says free range. It has a little green logo on it. Maybe a picture of a farm. Maybe a chicken walking through grass. You look at that and you feel good. You feel like you made the right call. I need you to stop feeling good for the next few minutes. Because what is behind those labels is something they spent a lot of money making sure you never go looking for. Here is the thing nobody in the chicken industry wants to say out loud. 4 companies control over 50% of all the chicken sold in America. Tyson, Pilgrim's Pride, Sanderson Farms, now part of Wayne-Sanderson, Perdue. That is it. 4 corporations, half the chicken in this country. And when 4 companies control that much of anything, the decisions they make are not about the chicken. They are about the math. How fast can we grow it? How cheap can we process it? How many pounds can we move per hour? The chicken is just the thing in the middle of the math problem. And the math has consequences that end up on your dinner table. Let me tell you about something called woody breast. You have probably experienced it without knowing what it was. You cook a chicken breast, everything looks right, it smells right. You cut into it and it is hard in a way it should not be. Dense, rubbery in places. Almost like biting into something that has not fully cooked, even though it definitely has. That is woody breast. It is a muscle disease. It happens because commercial chickens are bred and raised to grow so fast their muscles cannot keep up with their own body weight. The muscle fibers break down. Fibrous tissue and fat accumulate where actual muscle should be. In 2012, woody breast affected about 5% of commercial chickens. By 2015, it was nearly 30%. 1 in 3 birds. And it has not gotten better. It has gotten worse. You are not imagining the chicken tasting different than it used to. You are right. It is different. The industry changed the chicken, and nobody sent you a letter about it. Now here is the other thing. The United States is one of the only countries in the world that washes its chicken in chlorinated water during processing. Every chicken you buy from a major brand went through a chlorinated water bath before it was packaged. The European Union has banned American chicken imports partly because of this practice. The UK does not want it. Most of Europe does not want it. The argument for it is that it kills bacteria. The argument against it is that it covers up the contamination that happens when you run 10,000 chickens per hour through the same processing line. Clean the bird after the fact, rather than fixing the conditions that contaminated it in the first place. The chlorine is the last line of defense in a supply chain that does not have many other lines of defense at all. Now let us get into the brands. 10 on the avoid list. We go from concerning to the one that should genuinely make you angry. And we end with 3 that are actually doing it right. Number 10. Walmart Great Value Chicken. Start here, because this is the one most households reach for first when the grocery budget is tight. And the reasoning is completely sound. Walmart is the largest grocery retailer in America. Great Value is their house brand. The price is honest. The problem is what sits behind it. Walmart does not raise chickens. Walmart holds supply contracts with processors who win the bid at the lowest price. That processor can change. The sourcing behind the label can shift quarter to quarter, with no visible indication to the person holding the package. There is no dedicated Walmart chicken facility. There is no Walmart chicken farm. There is a contract. And whoever won that contract most recently is producing the chicken in your cart right now under a label that tells you nothing about them. You have no way to know which processing facility produced it. You have no way to trace the bird. You are buying a label, not a supply chain. And at Walmart's scale, the supply chain behind that label was optimized for one thing, not for you. Number 9. Sanderson Farms, now Wayne-Sanderson. Sanderson Farms spent decades building a reputation as a straightforward, no-nonsense chicken producer. Family founded in Mississippi. Honest about what they did and did not do. Then, in 2022, Continental Grain and Cargill acquired Sanderson Farms and merged it with Wayne Farms to create Wayne-Sanderson, one of the largest poultry operations in the country. When Cargill, one of the largest privately held corporations on earth, becomes part of your ownership structure, the decisions about your supply chain are no longer made in Mississippi. They are made in a boardroom with a different set of priorities. Wayne-Sanderson does not publish detailed sourcing information at the farm level. The chickens are conventionally raised, which means they were grown at the pace the industry demands, on feed the industry uses, in conditions the industry considers standard. Standard is not a compliment in the American chicken industry. Standard means the math is running the operation. Number 8. Foster Farms. Foster Farms has had one of the most concerning food safety records of any major American poultry producer. In 2013 and 2014, a Salmonella Heidelberg outbreak linked to Foster Farms facilities infected over 550 people across multiple states. The USDA suspended operations at the Foster Farms Livingston, California plant due to what federal inspectors described as egregious insanitary conditions. The plant was shut down by the government, then reopened. Foster Farms never issued a recall, despite 550 people getting sick. Not one. They let the outbreak run while fighting the government's decision to suspend their operations. In 2014, the USDA sent Foster Farms a formal letter citing violations of the Poultry Products Inspection Act. A company with that history and that response to a government shutdown is telling you everything you need to know about what they prioritize. It is not the chicken. Number 7. Pilgrim's Pride. Pilgrim's Pride is the second largest chicken producer in the United States. It is majority owned by JBS, the Brazilian Meat Processing Corporation, the same JBS that is behind the largest ground beef recall in American history. The same JBS that has faced multiple federal contamination recalls across its beef operations. The foreign ownership of Pilgrim's Pride means the sourcing decisions and cost optimization logic governing a significant share of American chicken production are made by a corporation whose primary accountability is to shareholders in Brazil. Pilgrim's Pride chickens are conventionally raised, processed at industrial volume, and sold under dozens of store-brand labels that carry no Pilgrim's Pride identification. You may be buying Pilgrim's Pride chicken right now under a store-brand label and have no way of knowing it. That is not an accident. That is how the supply chain was designed. Number 6. Perdue Chicken. Perdue has better brand recognition and a cleaner public image than most brands on this list. Frank Perdue built the company's identity around quality and the famous tagline that it takes a tough man to make a tender chicken. That heritage still sells. In August 2024, Perdue recalled 167,171 pounds of frozen chicken products after consumers found thin metal wire strands inside the breaded chicken breast tenders and nuggets. That is not a small number. 167,000 pounds. Metal wire in the chicken. The organic Perdue Simply Smart line was included in that recall. The premium organic product that parents reach for specifically because they want something cleaner for their children came back with metal wire in it. Perdue's senior vice president of food safety called it an abundance of caution recall. 167,000 pounds of metal contamination is not a caution. It is a production failure. Number 5. Tyson Foods. Tyson is the largest chicken producer in the United States. It processes more chicken than any other company in the country. And its recall history reflects the consequences of that volume. In 2024, Tyson recalled nearly 30,000 pounds of chicken nuggets after consumers found metal pieces inside the dinosaur-shaped products intended for children. Tyson also recalled ready-to-eat chicken products due to possible listeria contamination. The Tyson chicken that markets itself as all-natural fresh with no antibiotics ever and no added hormones or steroids still goes through the same chlorinated water processing bath as every other mass-market brand. The all-natural claim on the front of the package refers to the absence of artificial ingredients after processing. It says nothing about the conditions the bird was raised in, the speed at which it was grown, or the processing environment it moved through before it reached the package. All natural does not mean what it sounds like it means. Tyson wrote that label. The label works for Tyson. Number 4. Kirkland's signature Costco chicken. Costco built a dedicated chicken processing facility in Nebraska, specifically to supply its rotisserie chicken program and keep the price at $4.99, regardless of inflation. That commitment to the price point required a supply chain that could absorb rising costs without raising the price. How does a rotisserie chicken stay at $4.99 when everything around it gets more expensive? The answer is not magic. It is scale, and it is margin compression somewhere in the supply chain. Costco sources its chickens from farms that use industry-standard growing practices. The birds grow fast, the conditions are conventional, the chlorinated wash happens. For fresh, raw Kirkland signature chicken, the sourcing varies by region, and the processor behind the label is not consistently disclosed. The $4.99 rotisserie chicken is a genuine value for the consumer. What it costs the bird, the farmer, and the supply chain to deliver that price is a different calculation entirely. Number 3. Aldi Kirkwood and Never Any brands. Aldi's model is built around sourcing at the lowest viable cost and passing some of that to the consumer. The Kirkwood brand is Aldi's conventional chicken line. The Never Any brand is positioned as the cleaner option. No antibiotics, no added hormones. The Never Any label is doing real work. The antibiotics claim is verifiable. But Aldi does not publish its chicken suppliers. The farms behind Kirkwood and Never Any are not disclosed. The processing facilities are not named. At Aldi's price point and sourcing model, the supply chain behind the chicken operates under the same cost pressures as every other industrial brand on this list. Never Any means never any antibiotics. It does not tell you how fast the bird grew, how it was processed, or which facility it came through. You are buying a partial promise. Number 2. Ranger free-range chicken. This is the one on the thumbnail. And it is here at number 2 because the label is doing the most work of any brand on this list relative to what is actually behind it. Free range, no antibiotics ever, all vegetarian fed, Northwest grown. The label checks every box a health-conscious parent is looking for. The free range certification requires that birds have access to the outdoors. It does not require a minimum amount of time outside. It does not require a minimum amount of space per bird. A door to a concrete slab that a chicken never actually reaches because the barn is so densely populated qualifies as free-range access under USDA standards. The vegetarian-fed claim sounds like a quality signal. Chickens are not naturally vegetarian. They eat insects. A vegetarian diet in a commercial setting means the bird was not fed animal byproducts, which is a welfare improvement. It does not mean the bird was foraging in a field. It means the grain mix did not contain animal meal. The label on Ranger communicates a pastoral image that the actual production conditions do not fully support. You are paying a premium for language that was written by people who understand what you want to hear. This is the moment. Right here. You have been shopping for chicken your whole life, and nobody ever told you any of this. If you know someone who buys chicken every week for their family, someone who grabs the free-range label because they think they are doing the right thing, share this video with them right now before they make another trip to the store. And if this is already more than you expected to find in the meat aisle, hit that like button. It helps the next parent find this before their next grocery run. Number 1. Tyson's Anytizers and store-brand processed chicken products. The most important thing on this list is not any single brand. It is a category. Processed chicken products sold under major brand names, including Tyson Anytizers, Banquet chicken strips, Great Value breaded chicken, and dozens of store-brand chicken nuggets, patties, and tenders, can legally contain mechanically separated chicken. Mechanically separated chicken is produced by forcing the entire carcass, including bones, through a high-pressure sieve after all conventional meat has been harvested. The resulting paste is a processed protein product that bears no structural resemblance to chicken meat. It is required by law to be disclosed on the ingredient label. It is not required to be disclosed on the front of the package. When your child reaches for a chicken nugget, they may be eating mechanically separated chicken paste held together with modified food starch, sodium phosphate, and natural flavor, coated in batter and fried. The package shows a picture of a chicken. The product inside shares a name with chicken. Everything else about it is industrial. Now here are the 3 that are actually doing it right. Best option number 3, Farmer Focus. Farmer Focus is an independent company that does something almost no major chicken brand in America bothers to do. They publish the farm behind every package. Every Farmer Focus product has a farm ID on the package that you can enter on their website to see exactly which farm raised the bird you are cooking. The farmer owns the flock. Farmer Focus pays the farmer directly rather than running the contract farming model, where the corporation owns everything, and the farmer absorbs all the risk. No antibiotics ever, across the entire product line. Certified humane by third-party verification. Air-chilled, which means the bird was never submerged in a chlorinated water bath during processing. The flavor difference between air-chilled and water-chilled chicken is real and verifiable. Air-chilled birds do not absorb processing water, which means you are paying for chicken, not for the water the chicken absorbed in the processing facility. Farmer Focus is available at Whole Foods, Kroger, and independent grocers. It costs more than Tyson. That cost is the traceable supply chain, the farmer who owns the flock, and the air chill process. You are paying for what the label says you are getting. Best option number 2, Mary's Free-Range Chicken. Mary's is a California family farm operation that has been raising chickens since 1954. 3 generations of the same family. They raise chickens on pasture with genuine outdoor access, not a door to a concrete slab. The birds grow at a slower pace than commercial breeds because Mary's uses slower growing varieties that develop properly rather than the fast growth breeds that produce woody breast at industrial scale. No antibiotics ever. Certified humane. Air-chilled. Mary's publishes their farming practices, their feed standards, and their animal welfare commitments in detail. They are not owned by a multinational corporation. No quarterly earnings call is making decisions about their supply chain. The person whose family name is on the package is still involved in the business. That combination is genuinely rare in American chicken, and it shows up in the texture and flavor of the bird. A Mary's chicken breast does not have the rubbery density of a commercial fast-grow bird because it was not produced under the same conditions. Best option number 1. Bell & Evans. Bell & Evans was the first chicken company in America to raise 100% of its flocks without antibiotics, from the egg through the chicken's entire lifespan. Not since the policy change, not since the marketing decision, from the beginning. Over 20 years ago, before it became a selling point, before other companies figured out that antibiotic-free was something people would pay more for, Bell & Evans was already doing it because they believed it produced a better bird. The chickens grow at a natural pace on organic feed. The hatchery is certified organic by Pennsylvania Certified Organic, a certification Bell & Evans helped to create because it did not exist yet. 100% air-chilled, no chlorinated water bath, no mechanically separated chicken anywhere in the production line. Bell & Evans does not participate in third-party paid certifications, which means they do not buy the humane logo. They operate under their own welfare standard, which they publish and which is more stringent than the certifications they declined. The price is higher than everything on the avoid list. That price is the 20-plus years of refusing to cut the corners that every brand on the avoid list cut to get their price down. What you are paying for is the chicken that was there before the industry math took over. It tastes like it too. Here is the one check worth doing before anything else. Pick up the package and look for the word natural or all natural on the front. That claim is one of the least regulated terms in American food labeling. It means the product contains no artificial ingredients or added color and was minimally processed. It says nothing about antibiotics, nothing about how fast the bird grew, nothing about the processing facility, nothing about the chlorine wash. A chicken that was raised in industrial conditions, grown at maximum speed, processed through a chlorinated bath, and sold from a facility with a documented contamination history can legally carry the all-natural label. The label was designed to make you feel good, not to tell you anything true. Flip the package over, look for air-chilled, look for certified humane, look for a farm ID you can actually trace. If none of those are there, you know exactly what you are holding. Share this with every parent you know who is buying chicken every week for their family. They are standing in that aisle right now reading the front of the package and feeling good about it. They deserve to know what is on the back.